This is a punnet square. You've probably learned about the punnet square in school. This supposedly tells us the chances of how a single gene will be expressed. Every gene has two alleles. Dominant alleles are symbolized by uppercase letters, and recessive alleles are shown as lowercase letters. Genes are either homozygous or heterozygous. Homozygous genes have the same alleles. Heterozygous genes have different alleles. In heterozygous genes, the dominant allele is expressed. This means that in order for a recessive allele to be expressed, the gene must be homozygous with two recessive alleles. Let's use a punnet square to determine the chances of a child having brown eyes, with one parent having blue eyes, which are recessive, and one parent having heterozygous brown eyes. According to the square, a child of these parents would have a 50-50 chance of having brown eyes. But what if the child is born with hazel eyes? Well, according to the punnet square, that's impossible. But it happens more often than you'd think. So what is the punnet square not telling us? To understand the real genetics of eye color, we first have to know what gives eyes their color. The iris is the colored part of your eye. Your iris is colored with a natural pigment called melanin. The more melanin you have, the darker your eyes will be. There are many different genes that control the amount of melanin in your eyes. However, two of these genes are responsible for the majority of eye color determination. These are OCA2 and HERC2. The OCA2 gene is responsible for creating the P protein. The P protein is involved in the maturation of melanosomes. Melanosomes produce and store melanin. This directly affects your eye color, because the more melanin that is produced, the more melanin will end up in your iris. HERC2 controls the expression of OCA2. Because HERC2 affects OCA2, it therefore affects your eye color. So, with all of these genes involved in eye color, can we really predict a child's eye color through hereditary genes? Well, the answer to that is complicated, mainly due to a little thing called polymorphism. Polymorphism means that a single gene can have multiple forms in existence. This basically means that eye color is not an either-or trait. Let's go back to the example from earlier. Monomorphism means that the child would either have brown or blue eyes. However, due to polymorphism, the child could actually have a number of different eye colors. He could have regular blue eyes, dark blue eyes, brown eyes, light brown eyes, or even hazel eyes, depending on how the gene is expressed. So, the next time you try to predict eye color, use the punnet square with a grain of salt.